You've been deceived, not just by society, not just by love songs and romantic movies, but even by your own instincts. You were raised to believe women are gentle, caring, selfless beings, that their love is pure, their intentions noble, their hearts untouched by the darker impulses that haunt men. But Karl Marx, the man who explored the deepest and darkest corners of the human soul, uncovered something far more unsettling. Beneath the surface of every woman lies a force so raw, so ruthlessly calculating, that most men never recognize it until it is already too late. By the end of this, you will gain what schools, counselors, and modern culture refuse to give you: the ability to predict female behavior, to shield yourself from emotional battles, and to reclaim the strength you have lost in a game you never even knew you were playing. This isn't hatred, this is survival. Think back. Have you ever met a woman who seemed perfect, kind, devoted, almost painfully vulnerable, only to watch her transform into someone cold, distant, even unkind when you needed her the most? That wasn't coincidence. That wasn't just how people are. That was Marx's shadow at work, the hidden self she spent her whole life covering up, even from herself. You felt it. The whiplash of a woman who cherished you one day and cast you aside the next. The way she rewrote the past, making you the villain for things you never did. The tears that felt real in the moment, but later revealed themselves to be nothing more than another move in a game you didn't know existed. Karl Marx saw this pattern long ago. In his private notes, he wrote, "The feminine persona is a masterpiece of disguise, not because women are liars, but because nature demands it." Here's the first hard truth. Women don't choose to mislead. They are built to. While men evolved to conquer, to create, to fight, women evolved to survive. And for them, survival has always depended on how well they could read and navigate the male mind. That is why a woman's love is never truly unconditional. It is a transaction, a negotiation, a biological contract where your usefulness determines your worth. Marx called this the trap of projection, the male tendency to place his own desires onto a woman, mistaking her display of weakness for genuine depth. And that is where the horror begins, because the woman you thought you loved was never real. She was a mirror, reflecting back whatever version of herself would keep you invested. When you were strong, she was loyal. When you showed weakness, she recoiled. When you failed to meet her hidden demands, she punished you, not with screaming, but with silence, with detachment, with indifference that left you begging for crumbs of the love she once showered on you. But this is only the surface. What comes next is even darker, because Karl Marx didn't just reveal the illusion, he also uncovered the purpose behind it. And when you grasp why women do this, you will never look at love in the same way again. Let me ask you something that cuts deeper than you may expect. Have you ever truly been loved for who you are? Or have you only been valued for what you bring to the table? Your stability, your resources, your ability to protect her from the harshness of life. Marx's hidden writings reveal a chilling pattern. Women do not love the way men imagine. They bargain. Think back. The moment you lost your job, did she remain the same, or did her respect for you fade? When you opened up emotionally, did she treasure it, or did she slowly pull away? This isn't cruelty. It is instinct. For countless generations, women who valued survival over pure sentiment lived longer than those who didn't. And that ancient truth still drives female attraction today. You have felt this contract in every relationship, even if you couldn't name it. The way her eyes brightened when you succeeded and dulled when you failed. The way her affection seemed tied directly to your strength and your usefulness. Marx called this the maternal bargain, the unconscious ability of a woman to measure a man's genetic and social value and then adjust her loyalty accordingly. Here's the painful part. She doesn't even realize she's doing it. Just like you don't consciously choose to be drawn to youth and beauty, she doesn't consciously choose to resent weakness. It is built into her, programmed. And once you understand this, every confusing breakup, every sudden loss of attraction, every "I just don't feel the same anymore" finally makes sense. Marx's most controversial notes described women as unconscious predators, not because they are evil, but because their survival has always depended on their ability to evaluate, extract, and exit. Modern culture may call this toxic, but nature calls it necessary. She falls for your potential, then punishes you when you fail to live up to it. She longs for your strength, then tests it by stirring chaos. She demands openness, then loses respect the moment you show it. This isn't hypocrisy, it is hypergamy, the drive to secure the best possible partner, even at the cost of emotional destruction. But here's what nobody tells you. Women dislike this truth more than you do. Because the deeper layer, the one buried inside Marx's private research, exposes the one thing a woman fears more than being alone: being seen. There is a point in every man's life when the illusion breaks. You suddenly see the script she has been following, the one she didn't even know was written for her. Karl Marx called this the shadow war, the hidden battle between the woman she pretends to be and the one she really is. And here's the disturbing part: she is losing that fight too. Think of the most manipulative woman you have ever met. Was she laughing like a villain in a play, planning your destruction? Of course not. The most dangerous women believe their own lies. When she says, "I just want honesty," while punishing you for it. When she claims, "I'm not angry," while making you pay for it. That isn't pure malice. That's instinct at work. Marx found that women control men not through direct force, but through emotional manipulation, turning your very strengths against you. You have lived this. The more reliable you became, the more careless she acted. The more support you gave, the more crises she invented. The harder you tried to make her happy, the more unhappy she seemed to become. Marx called this the martyr's trap. A woman's shadow thrives on chaos. If you are stable, she will shake that stability. If you are confident, she will test you, not because she wants to destroy you, but because her unconscious mind demands proof that you can handle her darkness. Here's the truth that should make your skin crawl: the sweeter the woman, the deadlier the shadow. Marx's case notes are filled with examples of perfect wives who secretly ruined their husbands, not with cheating or shouting, but with carefully placed helplessness. The headache that always appeared when he needed courage, the sadness that magically faded when he stopped paying attention. These are not conspiracies. They are survival instincts older than civilization itself. When a woman says, "I don't know why I'm like this," believe her. She really doesn't. Her shadow acts through her just as your hunger for her acts through you. But this battle is not hopeless, because Karl Marx found something even stronger than the shadow, the key to overcoming it. And when you learn how to use it, you will never fear female nature again. This final truth changes everything. For all the lies I've just torn down, now comes the rebuilding. Because Karl Marx didn't expose female nature to leave men broken. He revealed it so men could become powerful, not cruel, not bitter. Powerful in the way a storm is powerful against the wind. Powerful in the way truth is powerful against lies. Here is the first law: become her mirror. Women don't change because of lectures. They change because of consequences. Marx's discovery was that a woman's shadow only respects what it cannot bend. When she brings chaos, you bring stillness. When she plays the victim, you become unmoved. When she tests you, you become unreachable. Not as punishment, but as reality. Just as light bends around gravity, female nature bends around unshakable male strength. Here is the second law: outsource nothing. Your ancestors knew this instinctively. Never let a woman be your therapist, your mission, or your moral guide. Marx proved why. The moment you hand over your emotional oxygen to a woman, she is forced to suffocate you to survive. That is why so many men today live like slaves. They beg for intimacy instead of commanding attraction. They seek approval instead of setting standards. They negotiate love instead of inspiring it. The answer is simple. Build a soul so rich that female attention is optional, not necessary. Here is the third and final law. Use your shadow, Marx's most forbidden teaching. A man's strength does not come from avoiding his darkness, but from mastering it. That anger you bury, turn it into discipline. That desire you hide, shape it into creation. That fear of being alone, transform it into independence. Women don't fear gentle men, they fear whole men. Men who have made peace with their shadows. For centuries, this knowledge was reserved only for rulers, warriors, and the rare philosopher. Now it belongs to you. The question is not whether you will use it, but how soon. Because the world does not need weak men. It needs dangerous men, not violent men, not cruel men, but men who cannot be controlled. You've seen the truth. The only thing left is to live it.